So I'm not sure if you've already seen the new LG DualUp monitors floating around the internet. They've already been covered by a couple of my favorite channels, and each of them have really great points regarding this and who it's for. And that person is me. Back in 2021, when LG announced this, I think I was the only one who was genuinely excited for it. Everyone else thought it was just weird. And rightfully so. I mean, it's an unconventional aspect ratio at 16:18. It feels like a giant iPad, and I love it. I love it so much that I got two of them, as you can see here. Full disclosure, the single DualUp was originally sent in by LG for me to test out. And after using it for about, a few weeks, I really thought that having two of them would elevate my workflow. So I sent LG an email to see if they'd be willing to sponsor me another one so that I could create this video and share my honest opinions on it. Luckily, they said yes. Okay, in case you are completely unaware of this product, here's a quick overview. The DualUp monitor is a 28-inch IPS monitor, but in portrait orientation. It's like having two 21-inch monitors stacked on top of each other. Resolution is 2560 by 2880 with a peak brightness of 300 nits. It has built-in speakers and an ambient light sensor, but no camera. It has two HDMI ports, two USB-A, one DisplayPort, one USB-C, one USB upstream port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The USB-C is also able to deliver power of up to 90 watts, which means that it charges my MacBook Pro when plugged in. Now those are the specs, but one of the unique things about this DualUp is its awesome ergonomic stand. The stand is quite large and it's mostly metal, and it connects to the monitor effortlessly and has a good range of motion and adjustability. My experience with a single DualUp monitor was mostly positive because if I were to compare the screen quality to my 27-inch LG 5K Ultrafine, there's simply no contest, to be honest. However, where the DualUp does shine is the amount of real estate at your disposal when working on multiple things. I mean, sure, you could argue that ultra-wides exist, but I've tried them, and honestly, I'm just not a fan. And this is a personal preference, but I kind of don't like having to look from left to right. The DualUp has everything right in front of you, and it's much easier for me to manage my windows. Now, the only thing I will say that took a little bit of getting used to is finding the exact height to set the monitor on. Because if you have it slightly higher than eye level, you will find yourself constantly craning your neck, which can be very annoying and painful. However, set it just right, maybe slightly lower than what you're used to, and you have a great overall view. And if you are using a standing desk just like me, tilting it up makes it feel like a ginormous iPad, and it's awesome. So before we go further with the DualUp, I'd like to take this opportunity to share with you something that I recently discovered, and I really think you're gonna like this. We've all done searches, right? I mean, that's the basic core of the internet. But we also, as a society, have become more aware of the importance of privacy. Now, before you think that this is going to be a VPN, it's not. It's actually something better. This product is called Neva, and it was developed by a team of brilliant people whose goal is to give you a better search experience. Just the information that you need. Period. No ads and no fluff. I know these are all nice words, but I think it would be best for me to give you an example. Say I search for noise canceling headphones. Now, if I were using another search engine, most of the stuff that will pop up at the top would be ads, which means that I have to scroll all the way down just to look for a source that I trust or prefer. With Neva, you can see really nice thumbnails here. And mind you, these are not paid ads. You'll see this one came from the New York Times. This is from PC Mag. If you click on the preview, it gives you an overview of the product. You can actually see the review here, pros and cons, where it came from, and even where to buy and the current prices. So here's another cool thing that Neva does. So I'm signed into my Neva account, which means that after I search noise canceling headphones, I actually get to choose the sources that I prefer. So I can click prefer more. Neva is going to show me more from the New York Times. And if I don't prefer a certain source, I can just click prefer less. Again, this is just to give you a better experience when you're doing searches so that you only see the things that you want to see. Neva is very customizable. It can show you the weather for locations that only matter to you. You can follow certain stocks, certain news or media outlets as well. That's not even the craziest part of Neva. You can also connect your Google account, which lets you search within your email or your Google Drive. For me, for example, I can type in Etsy. And if I click on personal, it'll search my emails. You can see there is a suggested package because it's a package that I was waiting for based on the emails. Neva has no ads at all, and their only goal is to get you 100% real, unbiased results. Now, there are a lot more other features that I'd like to share, but it'll clearly take up the entire video. But I do want to end with a very personal experience that I think speaks to how much I've come to really appreciate this app. Very recently, our family dog suddenly passed, which left me and my entire family deeply, deeply saddened. The feeling was so bad that I literally had to search how to cope with losing a dog. And unfortunately, I had to scroll down just to get past all the ad-based search results. And when you're desperate and grieving, that really isn't the best experience. So I downloaded the Neva app on my phone and I did the same search, and let me just show you what type of results came up. At the very top, you see how to cope with the loss of a pet, how to cope with the loss of a dog. What I'm trying to get at is basically that it didn't even show me any ads. It just showed me the things that mattered to me at that moment. And that alone is a much better experience. And that's why I love Neva so much. And I think you will too. So to learn more about Neva, check them out in the link below with a special discount code exclusive to my audience. And I just want to say thank you to Neva for sponsoring this segment of the video. So between graphic design, photography, and video editing, I found that having 2 DualUps would be the only way for me to willingly give up my beloved 5K Ultrafine. And that's what I did, which makes this a quadruple up? Anyway, you can see how much more I can actually get in front of me without having to jump from one screen to the other or flip between applications or windows. Graphic design is so awesome on this monitor as it gives me such a large artboard with more than enough room for my various tools. Photo editing is great as well. While it pales in comparison to the 5K Ultrafine screen quality, the colors are close enough that I was able to acclimate to it rather quickly. The biggest benefit for me was felt when editing videos though, because I had so much screen real estate. I could have file windows, my timeline, my preview window, a script, and reference materials all open at the same time. Daily email tasks and researching have also been a nicer experience for me, since I usually have multiple windows open for those. The DualUp was designed with maximum productivity in mind, and that's why it has a built-in KVM switch, so you can connect another computer or device to it and split the screen. In my case, I connected my Xbox so that I can take quick breaks in between work without having to leave my desk, which isn't necessarily a good thing if I'm being honest. This monitor is obviously not designed for gaming, but for a casual gamer such as myself, I find that the performance is completely satisfactory. The DualUps can also be rotated in case you prefer a more traditional aspect ratio, but the rather large chin will make it even more unattractive. Oh, and if you're planning on using the split screen in this configuration, unfortunately the secondary screen won't rotate. I know what you're thinking, so why not just get a TV? And this is the most common question I get, and it's a valid one. I mean, why not just a single 40-inch TV like what other creators have been doing? I'm sure there are many reasons as to why I should or shouldn't, but my number one reason is simply ergonomics. This setup still lets me change the viewing angle of each screen independently, so it's much easier to work with when I'm standing up or sitting down, because having to constantly look up a tall screen like a TV can really hurt your neck. So to summarize my experience using the DualUps, the pros are maximum productivity because so many windows can be opened and it's awesome. Easy window management compared to one large screen, it's just great. Great colors, good resolution, and auto dimming. The ability to connect a secondary, or in the case of a quadruple up, a third device thanks to the built-in KVM switch is also great. Ergonomics is really my favorite thing about this, especially this ergonomic arm, and I think it's priced really, really well. Now, it's not a perfect monitor by any means. It doesn't have a camera, it has manual controls, which I absolutely do not like to use, and there's no auto rotate available. That may be an OS thing, but it would be nice to have it. It could also use a higher refresh rate, and the speakers are just okay. So while it certainly isn't the best monitor, I think the pros outweigh the cons, especially if you're not a serious gamer or if color grading isn't a top priority for you. If you are a creator though who works constantly in vertical format, you're gonna like this. Everything else about the experience was really great, especially when I stopped to consider that one 27-inch Ultrafine costs just about the same as 2 DualUps. Special thanks to LG for sending me these 2 monitors, and check the link in the description box to learn more about them. A quick subscriber count update since this recording. Help me reach 100,000 subscribers by liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. As always, take care, and I'll see you guys again soon. I hope I didn't get in trouble with this one, but I felt like I needed to share this. As I was talking to Neva, it wasn't really my intention to mention to them, but they heard about the sad news about Sam, my dog, passing. And let me just say that they were so kind to actually donate to a cause in Sam's name. I don't know what else to say other than, I'm very, very grateful. And I think that Sam would have loved to meet each and every one of those who donated. To Sean, to Matt, Molly, Joshua, Felicia, and Brandon, thank you so much. You guys are awesome.